She didn't blink when she said it. My wife's sister, the CEO. 13 years of my life reduced to a threat slid across a glass table. Voluntary is better for everyone, she added, like she was offering mercy. I nodded, calm, almost grateful. I asked for my laptop. I typed the resignation myself. One sentence: clean, polite, surgical, effective upon full settlement. I hit send, stood up, shook her hand. She smiled like she'd won. People always misread silence. They think it means defeat. It doesn't. It means I'm counting. I met her long before the titles, before she was the CEO and I was the dependable one behind the numbers, back when Sunday dinners mattered and my wife still believed loyalty was inherited, not negotiated. We built that company together, her ambition, my structure. She loved the spotlight. I loved the architecture underneath it. I made sure the lights stayed on. 13 years, no scandals, no leaks, no surprises, until the divorce papers appeared before the warning signs. I didn't shout, I didn't beg, I noticed. Late-night calendar blocks that didn't exist, emails forwarded, then deleted, board meetings I was no longer needed for. Patterns don't lie, people do. The proof came quietly, a forwarded message she forgot to scrub, my name discussed like a liability, severance reduced, equity questioned, my contribution reframed as supportive, never essential. That's when I stopped being a husband and started being precise. I stayed pleasant, reliable, invisible. I documented everything: contracts, amendments, side letters, verbal assurances summarized and emailed back for clarity. I reread my employment agreement like scripture, especially the parts nobody reads when they're too busy winning. Deferred compensation, change of control clauses, intellectual contribution recognition, and my favorite, full settlement. They assumed resignation meant surrender. They forgot who wrote half the policies they now lived by. When the threat came, I was ready. Resign or we'll fire you. Fire me and trigger protections they couldn't afford. Resign and they thought they'd save face. So I resigned. One sentence, no drama, no conditions spelled out, just 3 words that would cost them millions. 5 days later, my phone rang. Their lawyer. Careful voice. Too careful. "Can you clarify," he asked, "what you meant by effective upon full settlement?" I smiled for the first time in weeks. I explained slowly, calmly, like a teacher correcting a bright student who rushed the answer. Full settlement meant all outstanding obligations, deferred bonuses, unvested equity accelerated by constructive dismissal pressure, IP royalties tied to systems I architected, systems still generating revenue every hour. And the clause they forgot: resignation under threat qualifies as involuntary separation under state precedent. Silence. Then a breath. Then, "We'll need to review this." "You already did," I said, 13 years ago. I just remembered. The CFO went pale in the emergency meeting they didn't invite me to. I know because he called me afterward. His voice shook. Numbers do that to people when they stop behaving. "What do you want?" he asked. I wanted justice. I wanted acknowledgement. But mostly, I wanted them to understand the cost of underestimating quiet men. "I want exactly what the contract says," I replied. "No more, no less." They tried delay, then negotiation, then intimidation. I let the clock work for me. Every day without settlement triggered penalties, interest, disclosure risks. Board members started asking questions, the kind that end careers. The CEO, my former sister-in-law, finally called me herself. "This wasn't how it was supposed to go," she said. "No," I agreed. "It's better." We met one last time, same glass table, different energy. She didn't threaten me this time. She asked. The settlement was thick, pages heavy with zeros and regret. My name restored to documents they'd quietly edited. A non-disparagement clause that protected them more than me. I signed. She hesitated before signing hers. "You planned this," she said. I looked at her. Really looked, at the woman who confused control with intelligence. I survived it, I corrected. Planning came later. The money cleared 2 days after. The company announced a strategic restructuring a week later. The CFO resigned quietly. The board reshuffled. I slept well, not because I won, but because I didn't lose myself trying to be kind to people who saw kindness as weakness. Betrayal teaches you something essential. Never hand your power to those who benefit from your silence. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't burn bridges. I let them walk across a contract they assumed was harmless and waited for it to break beneath them. That's the thing about revenge done right. It doesn't look like rage. It looks like paperwork.